If there's one thing that I can say about Instagram, it would be that what works today is not guaranteed to work tomorrow. The algorithm is unforgiving, and if you don't keep up with the trends, if you start to lose yourself in all the noise, you find yourself with a dead page after maybe a year or two. It doesn't take very long. I think one of the major problems that a lot of people face is there's a trend that will start to work on Instagram, and people will start Instagram accounts that revolve around the trend. The account revolves around the trend strategy, and when that trend of growth no longer works on Instagram, the accounts become obsolete because they were built on the trend. However, there's a simple fix for this, and the fix is for you to build your account around the core Instagram growth principles, around the basics, around having a good foundation, and then leverage trends and leverage what's working so that you can accelerate that growth. But if you make your account around the trend, you just end up with a dead account once that trend no longer works. On this video, I'm going to be interviewing Josh Ryan. Josh Ryan has grown over 700,000 followers across a couple accounts. He has been doing Instagram for a very long time. He's worked with a lot of big names inside of the industry, and on this video, we want to provide you with the top 3 tips for growing on Instagram in 2020. We're going to provide you some of these tips are going to be foundational, and some of them are also going to be current trends that you can leverage. I just want to reiterate the fact before we start this interview that you need to be building your Instagram account around your foundation, around the core principles. Do not make an account that relies solely on a current Instagram trend, or you will end up with a dead Instagram account. With that said, let's begin. All right, guys, I'm super excited to have Josh Ryan with us. I know Josh has done a lot of great stuff inside of the Instagram business and on Instagram in general, but I'm not going to speak too much for him. I want him to introduce himself. So, Josh, could you give us kind of like your background with Instagram, how you got started?
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for having me on the channel, by the way. So I got started on
Got it.
Instagram, I think about 5 years ago. I sort of lose track now, but I essentially just started an account for fun, posted a few motivational quotes, cool cars, cool houses, like everything that a 15-year-old likes, because I was about 15 at the time. And then messaged someone wanting like a free promotion, like to help me grow my account. And they turned around and told me that they charged money for it. And I was like, what the heck? You're like, people getting paid for this? And I just didn't realize there was a business there. And then I found out about this whole Instagram business and just went hard at it from there. And now I've got about 780,000 followers across a couple of accounts and work with a bunch of clients, helping them grow and monetize their audiences on Instagram.
That's awesome. So over 700,000 followers, and like how many accounts is that spread across on?
Yeah, so that's just 2 accounts now. I used to have a few more, but I sold a fair few about 2 years ago, which was in hindsight probably a bad decision, but you live and you learn.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Definitely. I started off when I first started off too. If you found out with the shout outs that it was a business, and I found out like through selling Instagram accounts. That's the way how someone offered
Oh,
me
yeah,
some
yeah.
money for my account. And I was like, what? Money for my account? Take it now. I couldn't
Yeah.
get rid of it fast enough. And then it was like, all right, well, if I can sell one account for $100, then if I can make 10 accounts per week and get them to a certain follower number where they're worth $100, it was like, that's money right there.
Yeah, 100%. No,
Definitely.
it's a pretty
So,
crazy business that
yeah.
not many people knew about until like, I feel like it's become quite well known the past sort of year. But
Right. I think a
before
lot
then
of
it was
people have been
pretty,
like bringing it up to light, more people talking about it, more people realizing. And I think it's also just more people realizing they can make money online in general. And like the whole
yeah,
stigma of it is kind of dying down.
yeah, 100%.
So, what's the Instagram account that you has a lot of your focus now? Like, which one is it that has your pride and joy? And I'll put some pictures up for everybody to see. And really, I just want to go over your top 3 tips of at first, what's your best tip for on Instagram in 2020 for building the foundation, and then we'll go into the 2 other tips after.
Yeah, for sure. So my accounts is at Income Notebook, and then I've got another one at Millionaire.dream. Both of them are sort of outsourced for the past while, and that sort of hurt them a little bit because I've been more focused on client results and just
hmm
using my accounts for growing those clients. But yeah, Income Notebook's probably my most engaged one at the moment. And what was the first question? Sorry, how to
So
best way to start an account?
Yeah, I would say when someone's like, before they get their first 1,000 followers and are looking for the structure in 2020, like what's your tip for structuring your Instagram accounts that you can actually gain followers?
Yeah, so one of the biggest things, and I've talked about this quite a lot on my channel, is creating like with Instagram and with social media in general, I think you either have to be first or you have to be best to a niche. So like if you're not the first person posting in your niche, you need to look at what people are already posting and find a way to do it better. So maybe you're going to edit it in a nicer way that's going to make it stand out from everyone else's content. Because let's say you're going into the motivational niche. If you're just reposting the same content that all the big accounts are posting, if someone's already following like 5 or 6 of those accounts, it's unlikely they're going to add you to their feed because they're already getting that same content from bigger pages that are probably more active. Whereas if you post something, even if it's only slightly different, slightly better, slightly more unique, then that's going to cause more people to follow you because it's adding something different to their feed and they're getting a different perspective or different style of content, something along that way, something to stand out, I would say is one of the best ways to get an audience quickly.
Right. I think I've actually heard you talk about that on one of your more recent videos. By the way, guys, Josh
Yeah.
does have a YouTube channel that I'll leave linked down below, and he has a lot of really great content. So definitely give it a check out if you're trying to grow on Instagram or anything like that. But yeah, I heard you talk about that before, where you were saying, when you first get on a platform, you have the first mover's advantage. Then I left a comment and
Yeah.
I was like, that's so true because if you look at it with any social media platform, even if it's not Instagram, with YouTube, you had the first movers and they got on and they grow huge. And now if you want to grow a YouTube
Exactly.
channel, you have to do more work. It's the same thing with Instagram. And I think in real time, if you look at, say, TikTok, in TikTok, I think we're experiencing and seeing in real time the first movers taking that advantage. And soon you won't be able, just like on Instagram, on TikTok, you won't be able to just blow up doing nothing. Eventually you'll have to add
Exactly.
something more. And that's where we're at in Instagram right now, where it's like, if you're not adding more, if you're not adding value, maybe like you might have to, if you want to make educational content, but you're kind of funny, you might have to add a comedic layer to it to keep people engaged and wanting to follow you.
100%. Yeah. If you can sort of mix those two together, I mean, you could crush it. And yeah, like you say, TikTok's probably a good place for people to use to grow their Instagram. Like, I don't think it's a good long-term play, TikTok, but you could jump on there, get a few followers easily, bring that to your Instagram or bring that to your YouTube channel or whatever you might be growing. And that's going to help you massively.
Right, right. Taking advantage of where cheap traffic sources are, because that's what TikTok really is cheap traffic.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. So
Yeah.
that's awesome. So what would you say? So that's for tip one. Now, tip two, what would you say is really required to build a momentum for an Instagram account, right? So now we covered, how do you set up that foundation? You have to add something more. But now how does someone get that extra momentum, start building that momentum, right? Because when you're starting from nothing, it's like walking up a steep set of stairs.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of ways. In 2020, like the organic growth is quite hard at the start, I've noticed. I've started a few accounts recently and it's been harder than ever to get the initial sort of like 1,000, 2,000.
Which is
One thing
funny
that
because remember 2 years ago it was the complete opposite. It was like you
exactly.
start a new account and Instagram's favoring you, and now it's been flipped completely
Yeah.
upside down.
Yeah. Well, now there's so much more like social sharing, like you can share post to your story and all that, which you couldn't do
Hmm.
back then. So like an account with 100K followers can post and get a bunch of people sharing it to their stories and like free reach basically, whereas a
Hmm.
small account doesn't get that as much. One thing I've been playing around with recently on new pages is even just running like $3, $4, $5 per day Facebook ads just to like super broad audiences to grow like your audience at the start. And I think I started an account and for about $30, $40 got it to like about 2,500 followers, which from what I've heard is actually pretty normal. Like some people can do
Hmm.
it considerably cheaper. And I would probably say that's probably one of the best ways you can actually get your following off the ground is just using cheap Facebook ads to boost your content at the start. And then once you've got that, you can build on that. If you're posting unique stuff, people are going to share that. People are going to tag their friends in it. They're going to engage with it. And you can just build your momentum slowly by just consistently doing that. And I mean, obviously you want to do like hashtags and everything else, but I feel like everyone on YouTube has already told you to post consistently, use hashtags, all that sort of stuff there. So I won't try and cover that too much.
Definitely. Oh yeah, for sure. So I think the first thing people are probably hearing when you just said that is, all right, you said run Facebook ads. I think the first question they're probably having is why Facebook ads and why not Instagram story ads?
Um, I haven't done a super huge amount of testing on this, so I'm not really a Facebook ads expert, but I just personally found that I was getting better reach off Facebook posts because what I was doing is just running like I just pick my most engaging content and turn it into a ad in the Instagram feed. And I'm not sure exactly why it was performing better, but I assume that if people were liking it a lot, commenting on it, tagging friends, then Instagram were giving it like free reach as opposed to a story where you don't get as much organic reach from it because obviously people can't like it or comment on it or tag their friends. So maybe that had something to do with it. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure. I test a bit of everything and see what works best for my page.
Right. Well, I think if anyone wanted to and wanted to give that a try, I think now would be one of the best times. I mean, I know we can't say it on YouTube, but the whole, the beer disease, it has ad rates, all the expenses are really low than usual. So if you did want to
Exactly.
start, testing with some Facebook ads, you're going to get a lot more bang for your buck right now because overall companies are they're trying to get
Pull 'em
cash
back.
rich. They're not really trying to go all in right now on advertising. Got it. That's
Exactly.
awesome. Okay, so we
And
covered
it's,
foundation. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and at the same time, everyone's on their phone. So like people are probably more engaging as well if you're trying to grow.
Right, right, definitely. Although I will say I think people were already always on their phones. I will say that. They're probably more now, but I mean, if you think
Yeah,
about it,
yeah.
people were always on their phones before, Because I've been taking some polls. I'm like, have you guys seen like increased video views? Have you seen increased likes? People like like a little bit, but for the most part, it's like things have kind of stayed the same. I don't know. What have you seen any changes with the everything going on in the world and Instagram? Have you seen any changes in that aspect?
Um, I would probably say it hasn't changed massively actually.
Mm-hmm.
It might have slightly increased, but I feel like on Instagram there's probably more people creating content
Mm-hmm.
because everyone that was a I don't know, let's say everyone that was a gym instructor and they were working
Mm-hmm.
40 hours at the gym and then they would come home and they'd like record an Instagram live every Thursday. What the heck? They would record an Instagram live every Thursday, evening and teach people something. Now that they're not working at the gym, they might be doing a daily live stream. So there's more people putting out content. So even though there's more eyeballs on the content, there's like more to spread around, if that makes sense. So you've got more people consuming content, but more people actually making it as well. So it sort of evens out it's not just all going to the top. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
I'd say TikTok is probably the other way around. You've got the same amount of people making content and everyone's looking at those same people. So they're getting probably more views.
Definitely, definitely. Good point. All right, so first tip we've just covered building your foundation. Now we've covered how to initially gain that momentum. Now, what would you say for, you grown your account to over 200,000 followers, one of them. So how does someone, once they gain that momentum, let's say they get their first 10, 15,000 followers, does anything change in the strategy now from getting from 10,000 followers to 200,000, or is it more of the same and keeping your foot on the gas and consistency?
Yeah, I mean, it's boring, but consistency is going to help you. Like if you're consistently putting out 3 posts every single day, Instagram is going to like you more because you're, consistently adding content to their platform. They're going to be pushing that content. People are going to be sharing that. So I mean, that does help. The other thing that I would be doing would be finding a way to monetize your account through like some sort of, whether it be affiliate marketing, whether it be through drop shipping, whatever you might be choosing, find a way to monetize it without being spammy, and then that's going to give you some money to reinvest. So if you start, pushing an affiliate product and you start making $20 a day, you can then turn around and put $20 a day into buying influencer promotions to grow your account, or you can put that into retargeting people on Facebook ads and in the Instagram feed. And you can reinvest that back into growing your account, which is just going to scale things up. And then in a month's time, because you're growing faster, you might be making more money, and you can just continually reinvest that back into just blowing up your account.
I'm like so glad you said that about reinvesting back into your Instagram account because it's something I've tried to explain to people for so long. It's like you can't just milk it. If your Instagram's
Yeah.
making money, don't just keep milking it every month. It, put something, like for me, I'm always like, I'm like an extremist when it comes to things. Like I do like extreme saving, so I also do like extreme investing, right? So I'll like invest 50% to 80% of what I make back into something. But a
Yeah.
lot of people, you know, it's like even if you would just invest 20 or 30% back in, your income will grow more each month, along with followers and everything else. But it's, many people don't take action on that.
Yeah. And that's really a big mistake that I made at the start is I pulled a lot of it out. Like I wasn't spending it on silly stuff, but I would just pull it out and save it.
Hmm.
But that's definitely not the way you want to do it. And I probably got away with that because there weren't that many people posting like all the motivational business stuff like 4 years ago.
Hmm.
But recently I've noticed that if you do that, you'll grow so much faster, especially if you're small. Like if you're at 10, 20K, if you can find an affiliate offer for a course or for a product or something that you want to promote, you can make $500 a month off it. Just put that all back into ads and growing your following, because then you'll get to 100K quicker where you can make 2 or 3 grand a month, and then you're going to get to 200K and 300K, and it just goes faster and faster.
Definitely, it's all about keeping that momentum and just going off it, and the consistency for sure. Well,
Yeah,
I know you got to
100%.
go, but I do want to say thank you for coming on the channel. Thanks for giving off some of your tips. I mean, personally, I think my audience is really gonna like it. If any of you guys have gotten this far in the video, let us know in the comments below. Do like hashtag I stayed till the end, because I don't think many people are gonna stay till the end, and if you do, I think you're going to benefit massively from it, from the tips Josh is giving you, because these aren't the same recycled tips. These aren't this, you know, this isn't
Yeah.
post good content. I mean, you talked about Facebook ads, you talked about, you know, scaling with affiliates, you're investing back into your account. I mean, so if you guys stay till the end, let us know. Also, Josh, you have a YouTube channel, right? And you cover mainly, do you cover Instagram growth and monetization, or what's your main thing that you do on there?
Yeah, mostly just Instagram growth and monetization at the moment. I'll probably start talking about other things as I get better at it. Maybe a few tips on YouTube as I grow my audience there. But, you know, I like to wait until I know something before I start talking about it.
It's a rare trait. All right, Josh. Hey, thanks for coming on, man. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. No worries. Hopefully people got some value from it.
Definitely. All right, guys. Links to Josh's links to Josh's YouTube channel will be in the description below. Guys, make sure you like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed this. With all that said, I'll see you all on the next video.